Hi everybody, Karis here. I'm in the beautiful redwood forest outside Sacramento. Check it out. These trees are so epic. Ooh, look at that cloud. Makes you wonder if it's a cloud at all, huh? Anyway, so this magical forest is where I'm hanging out. I have a friend who, this is her forest cabin. Let me see if I can set the camera up while I'm talking to you. I have a friend who, this is her forest cabin, and she doesn't really have time to come and hang out here very much. So I'm through clearing the space, kind of, and it's on a really awesome vortex. So this morning, for instance, I spent a lot of time rincing off all her crystals and clearing them and recharging them and putting them back, and things like that are keeping it vibrant and moving, even though she doesn't have a lot of time to come spend time out here because she's very busy. So it's really fun work. And it has to do with today's video, because today's video is on regional awesomeness and upcoming events. So there is going to be an event here in Sacramento, which is about an hour away from me right now, and it's going to be on, actually I forget what day it's going to be on, but I'll figure it out and put it in the link below. It's sometime in February. I want to say it's the 23rd. Sunday the 23rd, and the way that these work is I have to go to the city and scope out where to hold the event. So I'm not exactly sure where it's going to be yet, but when you sign up for them, I then send you information close to the event about where to go, what to bring, that kind of thing, because it really depends on what the land needs. So it's hard for me to really tell very far out what it's going to be with this particular series. And something else about regional awesomeness is recognizing, especially right now while the weather is kind of crazy, and while Mercury's in retrograde, come back to that in a second, but recognizing how the place around you is perfect and how the place around you can be connected with and enhanced, and how you can be enhanced. So for instance, it's kind of chilly out here. Obviously, I've got this jacket on, I've got a big blanket in my lap right now, and part of me didn't want to come out, and I could justify that by saying it's too cold, but now that I am outside, even though I'm bundled up and not how I would ordinarily come outside, I'm so glad that I did. And so that's just encouragement for you guys, no matter what your climate, to connect with the nature around you, because we're going through all these shifts and we need a lot of love, but so does our world, and that's not coming from the perspective of, oh, this is a broken planet and we need to fix it. Although on some levels I think that's true, but on some levels it's not. I think that more than anything else, one of the most important things to remember right now is that this world, more strongly than ever before, is a freaking hologram, y'all. It's a hologram. I mean, I was having a conversation with my good friend yesterday, and we were looking for words to talk about the spirit and the body and using energy and proper exchanges and improper exchanges. And at one point I was looking for the right words to describe what happens when the energetic flow goes outside the realm of health and balance, and then it injures one of the beings in the energetic exchange. And in front of us, there's this loud crack on the highway, and underneath the car in front of us, there was a bucket getting run over. And it took us a second to realize what it was. It was a little farther ahead. And we started cracking up, and we said, oh, you break the vessel. So that actually happened a few times over the course of the day yesterday, and it's just reflecting how as above, so below, as without, so within. So especially right now, while Mercury is in retrograde, it is more important than possibly any other time, in certain ways, to remember that everything that irritates us out there is something that's out of balance in here, and that goes for everything. Nothing falls outside the line of that reality. No politics, no eco condition, no relationship, no anything, right? It's all reflecting something we need to harmonize in here, because the truth is, once we realize what the shadow is and where the beautiful aspects of all shadow and light are, then we can knit them together and use them in harmony to create what we truly are as a divine human, what we came here to even figure out how to do. Because like I've said before, we didn't come into the physical reality just pop back out and go back up to source. We came in to bring consciousness into the physical reality. As long as we see this world as something inferior, or our humanness as something inferior, we're keeping ourselves from the point of even coming here in the first place. So ways to do this. First of all, especially when you're going through a test, and when you're going through a test, which means a vibrational test, however it might show up for you in your personal situation, it is more important than ever to keep your posture good and keep your breathing deep. Stretch those lungs out, compress them and squeeze them, stretch them out, compress and squeeze, and do that to really renew your airflow. And you would be shocked at the difference, especially if you're going through a really rough spot in your day, in your life, in your week, whatever. And that has to do actually with my light body alignment course, which is coming up starting March 1st and going until March 22nd, I believe. It's 21 days, like most of my courses are. And there's also going to be a workshop about clearing the aura field. So clearing cords and getting rid of old traumas in our aura and healing ourselves. And I like the method that has come to me because it's non-violent. A lot of times when people, for instance, cut cords, and these are conduits of energetic exchange going between you and a person, place, or thing that are draining for one or both of you. So a lot of times people just say, oh, well, cut them, snip them with scissors. But what that ends up doing on the etheric level is, yes, it disconnects the connection between you and the person, place, or thing that you're trying to dissolve the unhealthy connection between, but it also leaves the cord embedded in you. And at the end of these cords, I often find there's either a hook, like a great big fish hook, and this is non-physical, this is etheric or astral or whatever. And often, if it's been there long enough, the hook has morphed into what looks like a root system. So a lot of times it's like weeding. So I have a different way to deal with those that's less violent and more effective, I think, over a longer term. Because a lot of times, too, when you cut that cord, the person will feel it. A perfect example of this is those of you who've been in an old romantic relationship, and when you're getting into a new one, you might not have heard from your ex for a year. And then as soon as you start falling for someone else, that person just pops back up in your life. They contact you somehow, or something happens that they're there. And it's because those energetic exchanges that have been dormant but have been open are now getting moved around, and your reality kind of feels it. And so your hologram reflects back at you things that might not be healed. So this is a way to really clear out and be able to align. And then the light body alignment course, which those of you sign up for the light body alignment course, you'll get the recorded version of the workshop. So don't sign up for both. Sign up for one or the other. And the light body alignment course is about maintaining your physical structure, lining up your physical structure with your energetic frequency structure so that you can just simply be present and serve as a healing force. And we all naturally do this to some extent anyway, but from what it's been described to me by my guides, once you first even realize that you're affecting the energy around you, once it occurs to you, you're like 100 times stronger than before you knew, and then anyone else you might not consciously know. And then once you have the intention to beneficially impact purely energetically, you don't have to necessarily do anything, but once you have the intention that not only do you know you're affecting others, but when you have the intention to beneficially impact anything that you might happen to shift with your contact, then you're like 1,000 times stronger. So that knowledge and intention alone is pretty powerful. And it's an interesting kind of thing to be able to do. So the course is going to go through how to do this, methods to do it, assignments on how to do it, and results of what you're finding out, ways that maybe the energy running through your body is different, or that your surroundings are different, or maybe you go to the park one day and realize there's not trash on the ground. Because remember, the park is not this external thing that's away from you. It's part of your hologram that you're creating. I know some of you guys might not like that. I know, but from what I've been able to discern, it's true. And I don't like it sometimes either, believe me, when I'm going through a difficult spot. So I feel you. But I think that the more we can take responsibility for it and go into the dark, scary places and find out how to harmonize, that's how we really, get free. Okay, so a couple other things to announce that's going on. I have started a Facebook-based book club. And it's free. You don't have to pay anything to get into it. And it's on my Facebook page. It's called, if you just want to search for the group, it's called the Monthly Magic Book Club. And we're going by the phases of the moon. So we're going to start this new moon, which is March 1st. A lot of stuff going on March 1st. And the first book is The Winged Pharaoh. So we're going to kind of have reading assignments for how long to go at a time. I mean, it goes from the full moon to the new moon. So it's going to be 4 weeks. And this particular book is about 323 pages. So it's a little bit, it's hefty, but it's so good. And this is about, it's a channeled memory. Well, it's her own past life. So I guess it's still a channeled memory of being a priest pharaoh in Egypt, in ancient Egypt, when they called it, I believe, Ka, according to this, before it was even called Egypt. And for those of you guys who remember being in the temples and in the mystery schools, it's going to activate some crazy awesomeness. It's going to be really good. Okay. So like I said, it's called the monthly magic book club on Facebook. Join if you want to. Come hang out. It's going to be fun, and we're going to do one every month. At least that's my intention right now. Secondly, I've got a couple other land blessings coming up. One of them is going to be, like I said, in Sacramento on, I believe, the 23rd of February. One's going to be, well, this one's not really a land blessing, so I'll get back to that. And one's going to be in Mount Shasta. I'm sorry, not Mount Shasta. We just had that one, which was really cool, by the way. One's going to be in Sedona, for the equinox. So it's going to be on March 20th. And I'll put the links to where you can go to the page to sign up for those below. Now, the other thing that I'm doing is in Los Angeles, and this is a women-only event. Some of my events, as you guys know, are women-only. Some of them are welcome to both genders, but this one's going to be a goddess-oriented one, and we're going to be learning how to use the Goddesses and Sirens deck. And this is going to be based out of Redondo Beach in California, and it's going to be the weekend after March 6th. I'm not sure what day that is. I think it might be the 9th, maybe the 10th. I'm not totally sure, but I'll put the link below so you can go see. And the idea is for all of the attendees to get one of these decks. And on the page, I'll put links to where you can buy it before the event, so you'll have it. But it's not mandatory. That's only going to be part of what we're doing. And it's going to be kind of a magical tea that we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys how to channel energy through your body to intentions that you want to create more abundance, to create more balance, to create more harmonious energetic flow between you and others, and also how to imbue your food and drink with particular intentions and also with energy from crystals. So that's going to be really fun, and I think I'm going to cap that one at probably between 10 and 20 people. So if you're interested, sign up sooner rather than later. I know there's not that much time left to sign up, but there is a limited space since we're meeting at a private residence. So it's going to be definitely a cap on how many people can come because we want everyone to be able to fit comfortably. Okay. Speaking of, I'll just pull a couple cards to see what's going on for whenever you happen to see this. This video is recorded on February, I don't know what day it is. Maybe it's the 19th? No, the 20th, I think. Something like that. I'm really not sure. But it doesn't really matter because it's true for whenever you want to watch this. This will happen for you. Okay, let's see what's going on. The thing that's happening right now, whenever this video is for you, who we are, our challenges, ooh, these are all goddess cards, it's interesting, our avenue for success, oh, there's a masculine god card, and the boon that's going to come after it, oh, and another masculine card. Okay, so what's going on is White Buffalo Woman, peace. This is fantastic because I know I've been doing a lot of shadow integration work lately, like hardcore stuff that is scary as heck before I integrate it. Like, I've been seriously afraid, you guys. It's a whole other thing that's coming. But White Buffalo Woman, sometimes called White Buffalo Calf Woman, appeared to a couple of Native American hunters, and they were going to attack her, and she just dissolved one of them into a skeleton. And then after she showed her power, they were not going to attack her. Well, he was going to take advantage of her because she was beautiful, if you know what I mean. And then she came and gave peace to the tribes. So a lot of times people see peace as weakness or gentleness as weakness. But I actually believe that being gentle and being peaceful is more of a show of strength than violence, because it's easy to attack. It is not as easy to still remain in your power and remain solid and say, I'm not going to let any of this negativity, pain, attack, whatever, affect my vibration, and I'm still going to communicate with you. I'm not just going to exile you if you don't say what I like you to say, what I feel like hearing. I'm going to really bring peace by remaining open to the fact that I probably have some blockages if I can manifest this experience in the first place. Makes sense. Okay, got it. White Buffalo Woman, peace. And I will tell you guys more in future times about what's been going on. It's really intense though, and it's some sensitive subjects. So I'm going to wait till it's more fully integrated to share. Okay, who we are. Haha. Ma'at, justice. She's of the ancient Egyptian pantheon, and she was the one who was in charge of weighing the heart after death. They weighed your heart against a feather to see if you held blockages and traumas that you had not released through conscious evolution as a human being. And if you didn't pass that test, if you did hold things you hadn't released, so coming back to, if you're doing stuff I don't like you to do, are you my enemy or are you my friend, and we both just need to grow. So this is who we are people trying to balance those scales, trying to evolve, really evolve, not say we can only be happy if we kill, whatever kill means, exile, disagree with and leave, insult, whatever it is, the people or the beings that we don't agree with. So makes sense to me. All right, then our challenge is Andromache, strength. She was the queen of the Amazons. I love her. She's one of my favorites. Look at this face. Good grief, she's fierce, huh? And as we all know, the Amazons were super amazing warriors, but also they weren't really balanced either, because they would do things like, go essentially rape men in order to get pregnant, and then leave their male babies, if they happen to have male babies, leave them out in the woods to die, stuff like that. So although they were amazing, and it was great that they were so individual and female and strong for their time, they also weren't really balanced. So it all makes sense here. So that's our test. Can we be strong? Can we own our strength and still do whatever that we need to do to succeed right here, which is the next card, which is Dionysus, ecstasy. Huh. Interesting. This is a card I pulled last time I did a reading. Go figure. So can we be strong and fierce and still happy and joyful? Can we? That's hard. I know that's hard, and we're each going to have different ways of doing it. But if we can merge this, if we can bring true peace, come together in all of our awesomeness, I know I use that word a lot, but it has the particular vibration that I want. What will we get as a result of creating this new grid? We will get wisdom, Thoth. I love this card. I love Thoth. He's a cool dude. He was the Egyptian god of wisdom. He gave Isis the spell to bring Osiris back after Osiris died, and that was a pretty amazing spell. I'm not going to go into it here, but it's a pretty easy thing to wiki and find out yourself what she had to do. And he had all of the codes of knowledge, and he kept them, and he was their charge of, it's kind of that difference between your knowledge owning you and you driving your knowledge. So can we, I guess what we're going to be able to learn is to ride the waves of reality and of our experience with knowledge and not be swept away by what we're learning or, go a little crazy mad. I know that happens to a lot of people. I definitely experienced it when I first found out, for instance, about the extraterrestrial presence in my life. It was kind of a present too. It was pretty cool. But it kind of took me over. And I got unbalanced in it for a while because my paradigm was shifting so much that it was like everything was a sync having to do with the aliens. And I was not really balanced about that for about a year. I still functioned fine. I worked and I had my home and I had my friends and stuff like that. But inside, I was like when you're in the bathtub and you move and the whole water just rocks and rolls and goes crazy, and then it has to calm back down again. And now, as you guys see, even though my first two books are largely about extraterrestrials, I don't talk about them that much, although they're around. And if you hang out with me personally, you know that I talk about them sometimes as much as any other aspect of creation because they're pretty big for me. But every single thing in my life does not bounce off of the alien thing in order to be valid. So I guess that the idea is now is a time of bringing forth true peace and true parlay, true ambassadorship for all of our own inner aspects and our outer aspects coming together in real peace, not extermination, in order to bring peace, finding the value in everything. Our challenge is whether or not we can have justice, not only justice to others, but also justice to ourselves. Are we just about ourselves, or do we let ourselves go too easy, or are we too hard on ourselves? Interesting things to think about. Our challenge is, can we be strong and fierce while still maintaining balance? And the way that we're going to get through it is having fun, having a good time, being in ecstasy, whatever that means for us. In balance, though. What we're going to get as a result after we've done all these things is wisdom. All right, guys, that's what I got for y'all today. I hope that everything is well. I hope that you're all progressing pretty well. Now is a very, very difficult time, I know. So It's Mercury retrograde. Definitely do your thing. Keep it as tight as you can. Try to be easy on yourself. Try to be easy on others. Misunderstandings happen. Try to roll with it and not adjust what you believe of a person's character because of something that might have been misunderstood. All right. Anyway, go in peace. Have a wonderful time. Get outside and enjoy your world. And I will talk to you guys again very soon.